2 of Locker Room After Hours. Hometeam, the Atlanta Falcons legend and 2-time Walter Payton Award winner, Brian Finneran, and the former sideline reporter, the hairman, the animal, John Michaels. We're in the Locker Room, 6 to 10, your morning drive on 680 The Fan. Had some interesting conversations this week, including one about technology or lack thereof, or a little bit behind in technology.
A little bit.
Keeping up with the Joneses is one thing. You don't have to just get stuff because people are getting stuff.
Yeah,
but,
very true.
Sir, you need to get into the game. You, Brian Finneran, have an iPhone, as does everybody in your family. The problem or issue is you are in the iPhone X family, and the iPhone 16 has just been released. You, sir, don't even have enough room on your phone to download an update.
I'm embarrassed. I wasn't.
You should be.
But I am now. After hearing that and talking about it on the air this week and realizing that my iPhone XR, I mean, it's a 10. Are you laughing at me from over there?
That was released on October 26, 2018 is when the iPhone XR is. We're in 2024.
No, it's a bad job by me. And my poor kids. I feel so bad for my kids now.
What do they have?
One has an 8 and one has an SE.
Lord have mercy.
I don't know what that is. SE means 7. I mean, it's so bad and embarrassing. It's really, so we talked about it ad nauseum, and my kids are just hounding Aaron and I to go get new phones.
Do their apps even still work?
Colin can barely use it.
Can you take any pictures on your phone? You have any room left?
There's no room.
Oh, my
I have to delete apps in order to do certain things.
You're deleting memories of a lifetime because you won't get a new phone.
It's awful. If you guys stop sending me such big-ass links in our group chat, I'd be fine.
So what we found
new phone is happening.
You have 56 gigs of storage, or 64.
64, yeah.
Which they don't even make anymore. The lowest that is available on the iPhone 16 is 256. They also have terabytes of storage available on your phone where you could literally download every episode of the Locker Room After Hours moving forward.
Why don't you just get a BlackBerry or a Razor if you're going to continue?
Don't do that. Don't talk to me like that.
Goodness gracious.
I'm going to fix it. It's going to be done.
All right, fair enough.
How long is it going to be before you fix it? Because we're really going to start.
Can you give me like a week?
All right, fine.
That's enough. A week. There's a T-Mobile store. I know where you live. There's a T-Mobile store.
You could pass one on the way home.
Distance.
Yeah, you could.
I feel like I'm being attacked.
You wouldn't have to shame you, because what about your wife? Your wife would like to take some pictures.
I know.
She would like to have some memories. Please
Those
do it for your
beautiful
wife.
grandbabies.
That's why in Jamaica you didn't take any pictures.
3 days? I know. 3 days. We'll be done in 3 days.
Okay.
All right. There you go. We'll keep you hinged to that. Speaking of phones, we had a conversation about phones in school. I am old school, and I understand that the world has changed. If you have emergencies, parents want to be able to get in contact with their kids. The cell phone, the direct way to do it. However, phones are distractions. In my world, and I know you say what you would do if you are not in charge, but in my world, cell phones would be taken away, or at least be told to put away when you enter a classroom. Unless there is an emergency, nobody should have a cell phone out in a high school situation unless there's an emergency that you just have to tend to.
Totally agree. I'm old school as well. Private school educated from 7th grade on.
Oh, look at you.
Not that matters. There's different rules and regulations. And you got to do this and you got to do that. I, as a teacher these days, there's a part of my heart that bleeds for them, having to deal with the stuff they have to deal with at every school, but especially I'm not right or wrong. Public schools, you can get away with almost anything. You're talking about headphones and hoodies on your head and phones in your lap as a teacher is trying to teach you something, and it's impossible.
There's no control. And I'm old school as well. I agree the phone should be put away. Like the first time that my kids text me, I go, "Aren't you in class?" "Yeah, that doesn't matter." "What do you mean it doesn't matter? What are you doing?" They sit in class a lot of times with one AirPod in, which means you're listening to music, which is super disrespectful. You want to know why you have zeros and Fs? Yes. That's why, because you're not paying attention, and there's no control. The problem is, and I'm going to blame some of it on parents, some of you are sucky-ass parents, you allow your kids to then argue with the teacher, because there are teachers you will see that will be like, "Put the phone away." "I'm not putting it away." "Give me your phone."
No.
"I'm not giving it to you because this is a $1,000 phone."
So?
And then you have parents, this is where I put this on parents, walk in and will argue with teachers and administrators, say, "Wait a second, you didn't pay for this phone, you don't touch it." When we grew up, and now we do sound like old guys, when we grew up, we had pagers. If you had a pager in my high school, they not only confiscated it from you, you immediately were suspended from school. So you bet not. We didn't do, bet nots are tomorrow. I think today's Friday.
What you bet not do.
You bet not have a pager out because you were suspended for 3 days, no questions asked. I think that needs to be implemented in public schools. You want to fight me on it? Get the hell out of school.
And look, I get it. There's some single parents. There are a lot of households that run differently. So if you have to get information or something that needs to be taken care of, I get that. You don't have to be completely, you can't touch it. But you need some learning.
Yes.
Sorry, there needs to be some learning going on. And when an adult tells you, I'm trying to teach you something, and you're listening to something Boss Man D-Lo is playing because you don't want to pay attention to the history class, sorry, if your mama has an attitude or your daddy has an attitude about taking the $1,000 phone, y'all can talk about it in the principal's office if it's Mr. Hometeam's class. I'll tell you that right now.
Here's what I'll say. What did our parents need to get in touch with us sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah. Guess what? You called the front office and you said, hey, my son is Brian Finneran. Can you send a message to him? I didn't have to call him directly. We didn't have cell phones. We survived. Guess what? If I needed a ride home, somehow the word got to me throughout the day. Hey, you're going to be riding home with Frank's mom today because I'm not going to be able to pick you up.
Why are we yelling at each other? Anyway,
we're old.
We do our voices. I noticed it last week. Our voices keep going up as we continue with the locker room after hours. Best of the week. It's Hometeam's birthday today, so let's not let that get out of the way. So happy birthday. Happy birthday, Big 5-0.
Yeah, the 5-0 show is going to be going on for about 2 weeks. Wife's family is a big birthday family. 50 times around the sun. It goes by quick. It's funny. As you get older, when you're in your 20s, oh, man, look at that old 30-year-old. When you get to 30, man, these old 40 guys. When you get to 40, hey, man, I'm reborn. That's the start line. Then you get to 50, and you're like, man, I have my health. Got a little bit more of a FICO score that's higher than it used to be. Things are where they're supposed to be. So it's funny. When you're 20, 30s old, when you're 30, 40s old, when you're 40, 50s old, when you're 50, y'all don't know anything, and I can't wait for 51.
I will say, you are one of the most genuine people in a business full of phonies. Like, for real, there's a lot of phonies, and we've worked with some. We've ran into some across. You're one of the most genuinely good dudes that anybody's come across. When I got let go from the previous station, you literally were the first person that called me. I hadn't worked with you in 10 years, 15 years. You were the first person that called me, and it means a lot. It's great to wake up. We got a good group here. We miss the other guys that were here as well because I thought all 5 of us had a great friendship going, and we still do. But it is great to work with you every morning. I just want to let you know.
I'm a culmination of the ingredients put in me, so put it on my parents, being around good people, fortunate to have great environments, and fortunate to have great people around me. So we have one more thing we want to get to.
I need to address one thing. Maybe you have one more thing. We got to figure out, Bella, what's going on here, you and Amanda, because I looked at it last week, and Hometeam's head is like right in the middle of his. I think they may have moved the picture around because I think.
Well, now he just covers me up.
Right, exactly.
Well, I was just looking at that's me. So I used to shave my head for 20 years. I was bald.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, couldn't get to the barber, so I wanted to see if I could grow my hair out. Guess what? I got the hair gene, and everybody ain't able, so I was gonna keep it going. We need to update and upgrade this, and that's also probably that's double chins ago. I'm down to a chin and a half. What are we doing here? Lost 59 pounds. We got to get this thing cleaned up.
You look great. You're doing great for 50, and I ditto what John Michaels threw out there. It's been a pleasure to work with you these last few years, and if we just figure out that picture behind your head,
we can do better.
Where to place it, maybe raise it up a little bit so we can at least see everybody's face, and maybe get a fresh one of you as well would be good.
Yeah.
Looking good at 50, baby. Looking good, baby boy.
I missed our team and station photo because I was in diabetic shock, so I missed the upgraded photo.
Oh, my God.
Now I'll be in better health the next time the photographer shows up.
I was hydrating with Fanta Orange, for God's sake.
Oh, my God. I probably had about 6,000 calories and couldn't quench my thirst. That'll do it for this episode of Locker Room After Hours. Make sure you tap the 680 The Fan app in the Google Play or the iPhone stores where you can get your app, and make sure you take us wherever you go. We'll see you next time on Locker Room After Dark.